Connecticut pride, Vermont's green hills, take it all in stride. Massachusetts traffic, we grip and we grind with a Dunkin' iced coffee and no peace of mind. So New England, stand up proud. Chowder thickly, shout it loud. From Fenway Chance to Rhode Island pride, New Hampshire's trying with free or die. So New England, with Ian Brownhill.
Good friggin' morning from New England, folks, and welcome to episode 43 of the So New England podcast. I am your host, Ian Brownhill, joined by my co-host, Robert Travisano, all things life's better in New England, and the So New England podcast producer, Vincent Guarneri, behind the camera, hiding that pretty little face of his. As always, guys, we try our very best to get you some special guests, and today we have one. This is our first in restaurant, and it's like, you know, this restaurant kind of has my heart because it's one of my first loves when it comes to food here in Rhode Island and in New England. So, without further ado, RJ, why don't you give us our wonderful introduction?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let me get in here. When it comes to Rhode Island, there are a few things that come to mind. Amazing beaches, delicious seafood, and I think we can make a case for delicious treats. One in particular is quite the staple here in Little Rhodey. For the last 85 years, this restaurant has been making the belly smile simultaneously with the face, because once you hear who we're talking about today, if your mouth doesn't start watering, are you even from Rhode Island? Founded and headquartered out of Middletown, Rhode Island, this restaurant has been a feel-good, local favorite for years, serving tons of delicious food and their staple treat, the Awful Awful, for generations. So if that isn't a dead giveaway for what today's episode is all about, I don't know what to tell you. So it is with great pleasure I welcome, representing Newport Creamery here in Barrington, Rhode Island, we have Katelynn, Dodson, and Leroy Sanderson.
Thank you guys so much for being on with us today. I really appreciate it. You know, it's always unique when you reach out to local businesses here in Rhode Island in the New England market, because you're like, hey, we have a podcast. I really want to represent you guys. But, you know, this one was a little bit personal for me because we grew up in Westerly. We used to have a Newport Creamery in Westerly. That was like after basketball games, football games, we went and we got our Sundays. It was a huge staple for us growing up.
Weekend activities, absolutely.
A good, awful, never hurt nobody. So, but yeah, thank you guys very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. The short of it is I would love to kind of hear your guys' story. You're both regional managers here?
Correct.
Okay. And how many total locations are there now for Newport Creamery?
10 locations.
And they're not all in Rhode Island, right? Because you have one in...
8 in Rhode Island, 2 in Massachusetts.
2 in Massachusetts. Okay, awesome. How did you guys get your start to becoming regional manager? Did you work your way up the totem pole here?
So I did. I started 9 years ago. I started off as an assistant manager in Seekonk, and I became an assistant manager in Middletown, and then I became a general manager for Seekonk after I finished my about 2 years in Middletown. And then after almost 2 years in Seekonk as a general manager, I became a district manager, and I've been here ever since, and I love it.
That's awesome. How about you, Leroy?
So I started about roughly 10 years ago with the company. In 2000, right around 2000, I came to the Newport Creamery side as a district manager. And, you know, it's been a learning curve ever since.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, I went from the Burger King side to the Newport Creamery side of the company. And it's been a great experience.
That's great. And I think what I've always loved about Newport Creamery is like its authenticity to like the roots of like Rhode Island. When you come in, there's still like a nice booth where you can talk and interact and get your food. And then obviously you have the ice cream area. I got to ask right off the rip, do you guys have a favorite menu item personally?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. We got the menus right here. We need to do a little freshen up here.
All of it.
I got to say the Smoky Mountain's probably the Smoky Mountain Burger is probably my favorite.
Oof. How about you?
So the Creamery way is always going to be the staple.
Yes.
You just can't do it. You try it at home and it's not the same. But here,
so
it's always
true.
good.
That's awesome.
This is actually really funny. So full circle moment, but my father-in-law's first job was at this Newport Creamery.
Wow, in Barrington.
So in Barrington. So
Wow.
he's gonna be pretty pumped to find out. He's like, no way.
We could have brought him as a special guest.
Yeah. We don't have enough microphones. Sorry, Jerry.
Well, actually, I have my general manager, Maria, here from Cranston. And this was her first restaurant. She started when she was 15.
Oh, my gosh.
And she's been working for Newport Creamery for over 35 years. So she is as Rhode Island as it becomes because she works for Newport Creamery and has never stopped because she loves it so much.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love that. I love a good Rhode Island story like that. Speaking of Rhode Island stories, can you guys give any guests or listeners, because obviously we're the So New England podcast, we have listeners from all over New England, not just like Rhode Island and Massachusetts. So I'd love if you guys can give a little bit of like a breakdown and information, kind of let people know the Newport Creamery way. Give us the history lesson here.
All right, so Newport Creamery started off in 1928 as a milk bar, and so they became the leading distributor of milk around the Quidnick Island. And it opened its first restaurant in the 40s, and it just served, believe it or not, like olive and cream cheese sandwiches and liverwurst.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
You had to be
so
a cream
I'm so,
cheese
yeah,
fan. You love
yeah.
liverwurst.
I'm confused by
You can do a
that.
lot. You can do a lot of things with cream cheese.
So we've definitely grown from there, and but people still ask for those olive and cream cheese sandwiches. Believe it or
What
not.
is an olive and cream cheese sandwich? I've never heard of that.
It's
So they crush up usually green olives,
Okay.
and they whip it into the cream cheese, and they can make a spread out of it. Spread it on toast,
Okay, so
bread.
it still goes on like bread and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was thinking it was like
Bagels,
It was. I was
they
like,
put
is
it
there
on
like a bigger olive I don't know about that's like a slice of bread that people put cream cheese in?
A calamari.
You never know. I swear, like Rhode Island, we just have like our own world of food sometimes.
yeah, we definitely do. But yeah, so then it started off as cheeseburgers and just real good classic food. So.
And then when 2000, roughly right around 2000, the Janickies bought the company, and we've been expanding, trying to expand ever since.
That's awesome.
And we're looking to the future to open more restaurants.
That's fantastic. And, like I said, the Rhode Island way is like pretty specific. So tell me a little bit. I mean, you guys obviously have experience, not only like working here, but as a consumer. Are you guys originally Rhode Islanders?
No.
Ooh, you're not. Okay, where
So
are you from
I'm
originally?
originally from Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a New Englander. Half.
Yeah.
Half.
Yeah, she gets half credit.
Half credit.
Half credit.
So I moved out here after college, and I was working in a restaurant, and I didn't want to leave because I lived in South Coast, Mass, Rhode Island, loved the area. And so I said, you know what, let me stay out here for a couple years. And I started Newport Creamery, and I was like, oh, I'll use this and see where it goes. And, I just kept stepping right in the company. So that's why I'm here.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Cool.
Right. I'm originally from Johnston, Rhode Island,
Okay.
which is
There it is. That's what we needed.
Yeah.
right. I'm sure.
My
there's
guess
always a
was gonna be
wisecrack.
Cranston just by the demeanor and the accent a little bit. I was like,
right.
this is a
Hey,
Cranston, but Johnson. Okay,
Johnston's not too
Johnson
far
works.
off.
Yeah.
So then I moved to Western Coventry about 30 years ago, and
Been
there
around
ever since.
Fantastic. So the Newport Creamery brand, what would you say its importance in the community is? Because I feel like when Rhode Islanders really get behind a brand, behind a company, they're loyal. So do you guys do you have any good stories to talk about the local Rhode Island demographics that come in, or people that you see on the regular, just to talk about how much of a role Newport Creamery has played in the history of Rhode Island and the food scene in general?
So I think the biggest word to remember with Newport Creamery is it's all about making memories. And to me, being from Connecticut and then coming out here, you get to meet so many people, and they become somebody you know. And when you come here and you sit down and you enjoy a meal, you watch children grow up, you watch parents become grandparents, you watch so many things. We've seen marriage proposals in restaurants. We have an ice cream truck that goes to weddings, birthday parties. It's things that the Rhode Island people are going to remember. And I think that's the biggest thing of what Newport Creamery brings to the community is it's a place for memories.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's it's comfort food, so it's caters to the elderly, caters to the children. We try to make it that that restaurant where anybody can go, great meal, great ice cream, a family atmosphere.
Love that. And the Newport Creamery name, I know you kind of gave a little bit of a history of it. Where does the name specifically come from? Why Newport? Is it because it was born in Middletown?
Yeah. So
I assume that was the obvious answer, but I wasn't sure if there was a particular story behind it.
no particular story. It was started off as the milk bar, so I think that's where the creamery part came in because it was the milk, and then I think the name just kind of grew over time of just being the Newport Creamery, and it's something that we've never thought about changing just because it's a staple,
Right.
and it explains so much. Even though some people don't actually know that we do breakfast, lunch, dinner, and ice cream, sometimes they're like,
Ice cream for all three, if you'd like.
yes.
Okay.
We've
Just
never
fun that out.
said no.
It does happen. The ice cream for breakfast.
We get a lot of awful waffles at 7:00 in the morning.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Is that when you guys open at 7:00?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you stop at Dunkin', but you could always stop here and get a coffee off.
Subtle plug. Clip that, Vin. Clip that. No.
But
That's so great.
What would you say was the hardest thing to learn growing up?
Probably learning how to like use, save, or spend money.
You legit worked in banking, did you not?
You're welcome.
Are you still with Dime Bank or are you too Hollywood now?
Okay, rude, but yes. Yes, I am.
Imagine your followers finding out you're with a Connecticut-based bank.
Okay, first of all, they have a branch in Wesley, Rhode Island, which is where we grew up. So really, that's brownie points because I'm sticking to my roots. Second, I think everyone would appreciate that I'm with a bank that knows and understands their community. Their tagline is legit, community banking lives here.
Hey, I'm not asking you to sell me on it. I've been banking with them for years, and they know me on a first-name basis. I'm just saying I'm surprised is all. I can see the headlines now. Mr. Anti-Connecticut actually banks with local community bank?
Okay, you know what? Follow along with me here. They're FDIC insured, equal housing lenders, wicked friendly. They take care of all my personal needs, have expansive products to help all my businesses, offer lending across the board, merchant services. What more could I possibly want or need? And you know that I secretly like Connecticut, so...
Oh, I hope you heard that, folks. Dime Bank is the reason Ian loves Connecticut.
Okay, you're ridiculous. Funny story, though. You know how they have like the mobile app with like banking, Lifesaver, you can do all the deposits. Have you tried to teach your mom how to do the mobile deposit
No.
yet? I was teaching my mom how to do it, and she takes a selfie instead of the check. Visit dimebank.com to learn more. So when you guys are like looking at your demographics to expand, right? Like what is the target for you guys? Because I feel like I've seen you in like a lot of different communities. So to speak, with like the big box stores, right? They're always looking for a certain demographic. But like when you guys are expanding here in Rhode Island, is it more goal oriented on the fact that like, oh, we just need a location in the South or the Eastern corridor or the Western corridor of Rhode Island? Like, how does that kind of come into play from like the business aspect?
I think Rhode Island's we're pretty good in Rhode Island. I don't think if we had to venture, we'd probably be more in Massachusetts, Connecticut.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where you too many too close.
Yeah.
Is not a good idea. So I think we need to branch out to those other states that are missing us. Missing the awful effect.
Connecticut could use one.
Oh, absolutely. My nephews love Newport Creamery. They were just here for school vacation, and it's so funny because I have a 6-year-old nephew, and he loves the awful waffle because he loves the name of it. And he's like, why is it so thick? And I'm like, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's the point. There's history in there.
Yep, but he's 6 and he doesn't understand. But it's like, I can't even suck it up the straw. I'm like, that's the point.
I was going to say, I found it really cool, and you guys actually have it on the cups, how the awful name came about. Do you want to touch upon that just briefly?
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but we'd love to hear it.
Awful big, awful good.
Yeah.
So I think I should start with telling you where the awful waffle came from.
Yes.
So the awful waffle came from a ice cream shop in New Jersey called Bond's Ice Cream. So the original owners, the Rector family, they would vacation in New Jersey to Bond's Ice Cream, and it was actually, they got into talking, how was the awful waffle made, and he actually gave him rights to bring the awful waffle to Rhode Island. So he was allowed to make it, and that's when he was running the dairy bar. So he turned it into the ice cream in the original 40s about serving awful waffles. And from there, it kind of grew into what was more. It started off with just a couple of flavors, and now, we've kind of brought it into more flavors. I'm always coming up with new ideas of how to make it more extreme, per se, because us New Englanders love to go extreme versions of everything. And I think what happened in New Jersey was a customer was drinking an awful waffle at Bond's, and he said, oh, this is awful good, awful big, and that's where the name came from.
Oh my gosh, I love
Isn't
that.
that crazy?
That's a
And it
really
just
cool story.
stuck.
I had never heard that before.
Yeah.
History in the making.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think it's also because it's so unique. Like when you tell people, "Oh, you want an awful waffle," they're like, "That
yeah.
sounds awful.
Right,
Why would I
right.
want
Yeah.
awful
The name.
waffle?" I'm like, "You don't get it."
Yep. No, coming here from Connecticut, a friend of mine was like, oh, we have to go to Newport Creamery and get an awful waffle. I'm like, why would we go there and get an awful waffle? And it's so funny now that I work here.
That's cool that the name stuck too. Because
Yeah.
the word, I mean, if you don't know, like obviously what
Right.
we're talking about, the two words are not fun words. You don't want to hear that when you're talking about food. Like, oh, it's awful. That's
Right.
not fun.
The last word you want to hear when you're eating,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or you're
right.
going out to eat anyways.
Awful. No, I would like a good, please. So one thing that I love too about everything in here is always like the decor. Like what goes into the thought process of how you want the restaurants to be like laid out and kind of have not necessarily like a kind of like a vintage feel almost, but you know, not necessarily like all the, you know, furniture and stuff. But I feel like the layout kind of gives that vintagey type of vibe. Like what was the thought process behind that? Do you like, has it always been that way? Is it something you guys continue to like strive to do or reinvent, so to speak?
Well, I think we try to do minor, updates as time passes. Just kind of a little retro.
Yeah.
A lot of retro look with the different colors that we have. I know years ago, obviously everything was very plain and dingy looking, but now nowadays everybody's looking for that pop.
Right.
What really pops when you go into a restaurant, and I think we slowly try to evolve that into the restaurants. All the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really cool too because I know we'll try and get some shots of it afterwards, but a lot of the pictures that are up on the wall, and obviously listeners can't see them unless they go to YouTube and watch the video. But they're actually old, like this one is the Newport Creamery in Newport from '85, and I think that stuff's so cool. When you go to a restaurant and you see that like feel, and then even like just the simplicity of the date. Is so cool because you're like, wow, that was 1985, and look how cool and like historical it looks, the nostalgic, like, and it's still there.
The black and white makes it seem like it's older than it really is.
But
Like,
it's like really cool, and I mean,
1985 is not that long ago, but like
Right.
look at the picture, like wow, what is that? 1885? It's like no, just
Right,
you know,
1885.
yeah,
Yeah,
50
right.
years ago.
but it's just so cool because anytime I go to a restaurant and I see that stuff, it makes me feel good. Makes the food taste better too.
Absolutely. How many awful flavors are there total?
Goodness. Well, there's endless possibilities because we can say that there's about 8 versions, but then you can come in and say, you know what, I want a cotton candy orange. So you can mix flavors.
sounds like a stomach
You
ache.
can add.
Yeah.
You can add sprinkles, add Oreos. You can add so many things to it. So I would say endless opportunity because.
What if I asked
At least a
if
dozen,
we
I
could
would
go
say.
and make some of our own?
Absolutely.
Could we do that?
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right, we are now in the back of the awful making station. Pretty excited. I would like to know, what is the most popular awful that gets ordered here in Rhode Island?
Definitely going to be coffee.
Love it. Coffee. What's the most complicated awful you can make?
I was gonna say Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. Awesome. You're making the Cookie Monster. I'm going to make the coffee milk one. Wait, so just for the people who don't know, explain to everyone like what an awful is like product-wise. Like what is the base? How are they made?
So an awful is made with frozen ice milk, and syrup to flavor it. It's not actually made with ice cream. So right before the ice cream gets all the cream and everything else, we stop the process and we freeze it, and that's our awful mix.
I'm so sorry. Did you say there's no ice cream inside of an awful?
No, there's
Did you
no
know that?
ice cream. Would you like to taste just the awful mix?
Yeah, of course.
Completely flavorless. So we need
It's
that-
flavorless.
Yes.
I like a little bit of flavor in my life. That looks like ice cream. That's not ice cream?
It's like ice cream, but it is
Frozen
not
milk.
ice cream. It's
Get a
frozen.
shot of that. Wow, you got the bigger sample. Jealous. I ate ice cream, but it's not ice cream and there's no ice cream flavor to it.
It
Yeah.
tastes delicious.
That is really yummy.
That's an awful.
I will take a tub to go, please. Fantastic. I'm on coffee awful duty.
All right.
So let's do that. And you guys are on Cookie Monster. I have to do something, not because I have ADHD, but had to do that. Had to get it out. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start with scooping. So I'll show you the first scoop. So always it's in the wrist.
Wow. Look at that scoop.
You're looking
What?
for
That's
three
like a
of
perfect-
those.
That's like a little softball you got there.
All right,
How many?
3 of those.
4 of those.
4.
Okay. Oh, man, look at. I didn't just steal hers. Look at that. Oh, that's good. All right, so unos. Oh, mine's not doing the ball thing. How'd you do that?
You're probably gonna need 4 or 5.
I need a bigger one?
Yeah, way bigger.
Way bigger than that? Okay.
Yeah. It's an awful.
You did a
It's supposed to be
softball. I think I'm
thick.
doing golf balls.
Yep.
All right. There we go.
Not as easy as it looks.
No, what the heck? I don't have enough wrist strength for this.
Never worked in an ice cream shop?
All right, here we go. No, I never worked in an ice cream shop. That's one thing I haven't done. Let me tell you, I've had a lot of jobs. That's why I make videos on the internet for a living now. Is that enough? That's 4. That's not enough though.
No.
Oh my God.
Half a scoop.
Half a scoop.
Yeah. You want your first waffle to be thick.
I want it to be awfully. Oh, it's stuck.
All right, that looks good.
Can I lick the spoon? Probably not, right? This goes to the customers. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't do that here. All right.
All right, so now we got to add our syrup because that's
All right.
what gives our flavor. So we're going to come over to the syrup station. All right, coffee syrup right there. 2
How many?
pumps and it's go slow. There you go.
Oh, now we're talking. Just
Perfect.
2?
Just
Awesome.
2.
Sorry, I can't. I'm not good with instructions.
All right, now we come to the milk station.
Look at that. It's like there's a cow right in there.
Yep. All right. So you're going to add about half of the milk first.
Tell me when, because I don't know what half is. Oh my God.
Just about there.
That was amazing. It's
Yeah.
exactly half. I don't know if you can get a shot of that, but
Yeah, I got
okay, cool.
Blender's right behind you.
Oh, which one do I use?
The middle one.
All right. Is it just gonna start going?
Nope. It won't go until you hook it right here.
I have to push it all the way up there?
Yep.
Holy smokes.
All right, and then we hook the bottom. Yep, and you can kind of let go a little bit.
Just let go of the cup.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep, you're hooked. There you go.
Ha. You guys want to see my magic trick? It's floating. That looks delicious.
And then you're gonna lift it up again. Push down the top.
When you say push down the top, what exactly do you
That
mean?
top scoop.
With like my finger?
Push the cup down. Bring the cup back down. There you go.
Simple instructions, huh?
Yep.
That's it. Now I take it out?
No, we're gonna push that top scoop down and go back up.
Gotcha. Okay. A lot of movement, a lot of hand stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then you're gonna add the rest of that milk.
Just like in here while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you guys get this in there? That's like a little small window. Oh my Lanta.
Up. And then another readjustment of that top part. Push that down.
Like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys hiring? TikTok's getting
We are
banned. I'm
hiring.
gonna need a job. If you guys are looking for jobs, Newport Creamery, all 10 locations. Apply within.
All right, and then you're good to go. You can take it off. We'll grab you a straw.
Okay, I'm stuck.
Yeah, it happens. All right.
I got ice cream all over me. You guys see my shirt? I feel like it was about me. I'm awful big, but I'm awful good. Also, I'm not very big. I'm kind of tiny. Oh yeah, you guys need to hire me.
Right?
That is fantastic. Dude, your Cookie Monster is not going to uphold this. I promise you. Do you want a little sip?
No, it's all right.
Try it.
Can't do it.
Drink my... Not with the straw. Oh, okay. Germs. How'd I do?
We do that.
This is fantastic. Thank you very much for teaching me.
You're welcome.
Wow. Look at him cutting through that ice cream.
Like that. Get the corners. Don't touch my cookie. I can hear you back there.
Don't touch my cookie.
Don't touch it. How's that?
It's good. Beautiful. Almost like you worked at an ice cream shop.
Hear that? I might have back in the day. Put that back there. All right.
Perfect.
Next step.
All right. Now you're going to add your cookie dough pieces,
Next,
your Oreos.
Oreos. Were these double stuffed or normal?
Oh, my. All right.
All
Your
right.
syrup, carefully. Pour your syrup in there.
Carefully.
Carefully. It'll spill all over you.
Ready? Drizzle the Cookie Monster sauce.
All right. Then you need a full cup of milk. Pour half in there now.
Half now, half later, right?
Half now, half later. Perfect pour techniques there.
What did you
Put
say?
your cookie in.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Now put on the blender.
Are you Leroy?
I could be Leroy.
You could, but don't.
like Leroy.
You could be. That's more facial here. Put it on the blender. Hook it up. Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Just go slow.
Don't be scared.
Just go slow.
Go for it. Faster.
I'm scared.
Yep. So scared.
Hook it up there. Push
Hook
the
it
bottom
all
in. Yep.
Oh.
Hook the bottom in. There you go.
Oh, all right.
You're in.
Hope you want a little bit of plastic with yours. Because you're grinding up the cup with it.
Mind your business. Watch this. I'm a pro. Starting to look like a Cookie Monster. Or Ian when he wakes up.
And kick it into high gear. Top. The button right there.
Go to number 2.
Sure. Don't get nervous. Leave it hooked up.
I don't want to drop it. I'm scared.
You need more milk.
Don't.
You need more milk.
I know what you're gonna do. Don't touch it. Oh, I knew you were gonna touch it. This is professional cookie monster, awful maker. Nothing can scare me.
It's so close to going everywhere.
You like that?
All right, you're good. I'll slowly bring it down.
Okay.
Whipped cream.
Hey, which way does it come out?
Cookie first.
Cookie
It's
first.
gonna come right out here.
Does it?
Yep.
Put the cookie right on the rim.
What the heck?
No.
Someone took a bite of
What?
your cookie. That is.
Lay the cookie right on the top.
Don't do it.
Let me do it.
Don't do it.
Let me do it.
Look at how blue his mouth is.
All right.
Cookie on top?
Here's a new cookie right here.
Oh, it's all right. You can leave those there, but I'll keep using this cookie. Right on top?
Through.
Flat.
Flat. Oh.
There you go.
Swirl it around.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
This is not. This
Product
is my awful.
Product.
Oh, sorry.
I cannot get over his blue tongue right now.
Then we get his eyes. Oh, hold on. We're making a mess.
Might need a little more whipped cream on there, but
Oh, okay. Ooh. This could have been you. Where'd he go? Ta-da!
All right, he has a Cookie Monster awful, and I've got the coffee awful, and that is, show them, look at the tongue here. That is crazy eyes. Anyways, let's get back to the podcast. Okay, so this is now time for our So New England segment. So I would love your guys' personal opinions, but also make it a little bit Newport Creamery-ish. So in New England, we have 7 beautiful states.
Whoa.
The state of Newport Creamery.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was rude.
All right, we have 6 beautiful states, and I would love for you guys to rank those states in order, if you don't mind.
I say that's the state of mind I am now.
Here, this is what we'll do. Why don't you assign a particular awful to each state?
Well, that's easy. Rhode Island's coffee.
Yes. I love that.
Pronounced perfectly. Love it.
Coffee. Right.
I think Mass would be strawberries.
Ooh, okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice boring fruit for them. That's rude. Don't say that.
What do you mean?
That's my
Strawberries
personal-
delicious.
I know. I like strawberries.
Maybe we'll say chocolate for Connecticut.
Chocolate for Connecticut. All right.
You can do maple awful. It's
Yeah.
not popular, but you can do a maple.
Perfect.
Okay.
It fits right into Vermont.
I love this.
Perfect.
All right, all right.
We got coffee,
Maple,
we got
but not
chocolate, we got
popular.
maple,
That's rude.
strawberry.
You got to stop with the rude.
Maybe it's about to throw cotton candy to Maine.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
And then the only thing left is New Hampshire.
Oh boy.
Do you have like a tree bark flavor? Maybe something woodsy, earthy?
Maybe we can give them the Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. I'm in. I love it.
I love that. That's good.
That is fantastic. Okay, so usually our question would be, we like to add an additional state to New England, right? So we have 6 beautiful states. If you wanted to add an additional state, what would it be? However, I'm going to ask you if there was an ideal place that you would like to open up a Newport Creamery personally, that you guys can go and manage anywhere in the world. Just drop it in right there. That's your Newport Creamery. You live there. Where would it be?
I think Mystic, Connecticut.
Ooh, Mystic is beautiful.
Ooh.
Mystic is
It's my neck
beautiful.
of the woods. I like that. I'd be cool with that. I'd come in from
Drop
my
it in
diner
Disney
seat.
World.
Drop it in Disney World.
Yep.
Love that.
Just drop it right there. Everyone's
Florida
happy.
Disney World or
Florida Disney
because
World.
I guess it's Disney World and Disneyland. I always mess
Yeah,
that up.
everyone's
That's
happy
true.
there, and Newport Creamery is a very happy environment, and they're about making memories. We're about making memories.
That's great.
So it's perfect.
That's so cool.
That is fantastic. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to have you assign another awful, but to our New England sports teams. What awful best represents the Patriots, the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Bruins? We also have the New England Revolution, our professional soccer team, the Cannons, our lacrosse team, Free Jacks. I mean, the list goes on and on, but we'll focus on the main ones.
Oh, I'd say strawberry would have to go to the Red Sox.
Strawberry, the Red Sox, okay.
Patriots. My goodness.
It's tough, right? Because
That
you
is
want to
so
give them
tough.
like the best ever flavor, but lately they haven't been really there
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom of the barrel right now.
until this year.
Or maybe Mint could go to the Celtics.
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
that.
that fits
I
nice.
like
I
that.
like that.
Nice call on that one.
Thinking chocolate peanut butter for the Patriots. It's, you know,
Ooh, chocolate peanut butter. Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
That sounds delicious.
I like it.
best of both worlds.
And how about the Bruins?
Cookies and cream.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a good one.
These are pretty good. These are spot on.
I'm getting pretty hungry.
Black and
yeah,
white,
I'm not gonna
cookies
lie.
and cream. Yeah.
Cookies and cream.
That's great.
Awesome. All right, guys. So where are all of your 10 locations so that people know where to come in and have a visit, especially those people who haven't been in a while? We're looking at you right there. Or if you're listening, we're staring at you intently.
So we have Middletown, Rhode Island. We have Warwick, Rhode Island, right off of Warwick Ave. And we have Garden City, Cranston. We have Providence, Barrington,
Seacock, North Kingston, and Greenville.
and Coventry.
Fantastic.
And don't forget the ice cream truck.
One more. Just
Fall River, too.
I was gonna say there is one more. Sorry. Where's Greenville for those people who aren't geographically sound?
Smithfield.
rude,
All right,
okay.
Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Because I know where it is,
Yeah.
but I also know there's some very funky town names that people
Right.
know nothing
Route
about.
44 in Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Awesome. Fantastic. Any other little tidbits or fun facts you guys would like to share about Newport Creamery with our fans before we end our podcast here?
Well, we do technically have an 11th location. Ooh. So we have the Newport Creamery truck.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes.
Right. With that truck, we do many different some events that people are like, wow, you got an ice cream truck coming to their house. So we do kids parties, we do colleges, we do football games, weddings.
That's fantastic. Do you just like Saturday
Bachelor
morning
parties.
I can call you guys by, hey, bring the truck?
Well, you got to give me a little more of those.
Okay.
Saturday morning.
I'm just curious because sometimes I just get a craving.
It's probably already reserved.
Right. And it's probably already taken. So, yeah, it's been taken off in the last couple of years. And you know, who's the cool guy that says, I got a Newport Creamery rolling up to my house today for my kid's
That's awesome.
8th birthday party.
That's awesome. And is that year round or is that just in the summer?
We try to maybe 8 months out of the year.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Try to run that.
Fantastic. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for giving us all of this amazing information and chatting with us. Guys, make sure you go check out your local Newport Creamery. I appreciate your guys' valuable time today.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
That is going to conclude episode 43 of the So New England podcast. Remember, folks, life's better
At Newport Creamery.
Oh, that's not. Oh, I like that better. Life's better at Newport Creamery.